Hi, I'm JMac and this is Shaun, and we're back to play some more Halo down at our local store, Wildstorm Games. We're going to be looking at the new Punic Supercarrier and the CAS Assault Carrier, the new massive ships for Halo, and we're going to see how they perform. So, on to the battle groups. Okay, so here's the two fleets that we're bringing to the battle today. So, we'll start with the UNSC, who have taken Lord Hood and Cortana as their commander and heroic character. We also have the new Punic Class Supercarrier, which is Shaun's massive ship. We're playing 1500 points today. We also have the Gorgon formation, so 2 supported marathons and 2 trident formations, and then another formation of 2 marathon class cruisers and 2 trident formations. So Shaun's got a total of 3 battle groups. Uniquely, this is the first time I had this when playing Halo. I've got 4 as the Covenant, so I'm going to have more activations than the UNSC. So we've got the CAS Assault Carrier there. The Corvettes do not give it any supported rules. I just put them there for the aesthetics. Then we've got an ORS with a oblique formation, a CCS with an oblique formation, and then a Quartet. I can't remember the name of this particular battle group, but it's one of the special battle groups, and it's 2 line and 2 oblique formations. And my commander is Robar Tommy from the starter box. So, now that we've got the army sorted out, we'll go into deployment. Right, so, overview of the deployment. Shaun's gone for quite a conservative deployment. He's got his 2 normal battle groups flanking his Punic on either side, on this side of the table. Going over to my side, I've got the battle group, the special one of Corvettes, sitting on one flank, with the CCS next to them. The CAS is hoping to make use of that gas cloud for cover against the Punic, and that's sitting pretty much dead center on the board. And the ORS hiding behind this flank, hoping to use the debris field there to its advantage and avoid some fire till it closes up the board.
I fear this is going to go horribly.
It's really disconcerting being Covenant and having more, especially since the CAS is 150 points more expensive than the Punic.
Yep.
However, Shaun does have a Spartan aboard the front section of his Punic, as well as, an extra 100 points of commanders. So that's where 200 points have gone.
It's true.
So, Shaun, you've got +1 to your initiative roll because of Lord Hood's ability, and I've got +1 for that command dice there. So, we'll see who goes first. I rolled a 3, you rolled a 4.
We're even.
Baratami lets me re-roll it for a 3. So, Shaun gets first go on Wings phase. So, the Wings phase, not much happened. No one's really close enough to get into any dogfights or bombing runs on turn 1. It's more of a turn 2 thing. So, Shaun is going to activate his first battle group, which is the Gorgon. And he's going to move it up.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hard burn forward.
I believe he's going to probably target the CCS here.
Almost definitely, so go 10 inches forward.
I really should have hidden that in cover. The CCS doesn't get any cloaking systems, so it's a bit vulnerable to long range fire.
I can't cut that kind of close.
Well, that is close, isn't it?
What do I do with that? I'll just move those to one side, I'm afraid, and put them back.
Yeah, as long as they're sitting next to the base, those fighters are escorting.
They're not, they're actually sitting underneath this.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
You'll be seen probably, and I'll forget about them by next turn, so just move them to one side.
Yeah, just have to one side.
And 20 shots are going against the CCS at the back, so we've got 32 inches, which is well within our
You're in there comfortably. So,
20 dice at Mac rating.
firepower 4 because there's no debuffs at play. So,
Illusions actually.
2s do allow you to re-roll misses.
Well, that won't too greatly.
That doesn't look too bad.
And considering of the amount of things I rolled, I will use one of mine to re-roll 2.
Okay, so you can re-roll.
Oh no, re-roll 4, but I can only re-roll misses. Nope, so I only got 1, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 damage.
That's still pretty potent. And roll a dice for Mac 4.
Max, I believe? Skull?
Yep, it goes off on a 4. If you've got Mac rating 4 or 5,
yeah,
it goes
I
up
should
on
say
skull.
skull or 2.
So,
Sweet.
boop, that's vulnerable.
Did 11 points of
The
damage.
CCS, let me see here. It gets 4 defense rate dice. So I will roll those, -1 success. Let's see, what have you got there in total? How many?
11.
11. Right, so we have to knock this down as best I can. That was terrible, so I'm going to spend a dice to reroll 1. I'm going to reroll the skull. Probably get lucky. Okay, so vulnerable takes that away. Our damage track is 873, so now it's 762. So yeah, that still only does 1 point of damage. Roll for critical.
Oh yes, he shoots, he scores.
Right, so 2 vulnerables and a damage marker. Okay, so starting with the big guns, we're going to move the CAS forward 4 inches, keeping the escorts up with it. And then it's going to turn slightly about its axis. Just have to check the arc on the front section here. And yep, it looks like a can target. First, I'll have those cruisers with the cruiser there with the plasma torpedoes. And then we'll crack out the 40-inch range plasma lance, and that'll go against the cruiser nearest the table. So we'll start with plasma torpedoes. They're going through the cover, so -1 on the firepower rating. So that was pretty abysmal. Do I get a bottom for reroll? Nah, do you know what? I'm going to throw those dice away. So that attack failed. Now hopefully the 20 dice in the plasma lance will do better. We're only at firepower 3 because we're using it long range. But that's a healthy handful of dice. So 2 ones for days. So that is 4, 12. I'm going to spend one of these to reroll 2, so I'm going to reroll these 2, and that gives me an extra 1. So 13 damage on your marathon cruiser.
Let me just pass this back.
No problem. So you get your titanium armor.
On my cruiser.
Yeah. So unsupported.
Only 3 dice.
So
Statistically, don't think I can do much of this.
you knock it down by 2, which is enough to save the second layer.
That's good.
Right, so 1 layer of armor down and no critical.
Can I have a damage critical, please?
No worries. Broadside weapons aren't really an arc, and naturally neither of the aft weapons, so that is the end of the CAS's activation.
Right, so I'm going to activate the Punic next, and it's going to hard burn forward, and it's going to shoot all of its guns, or the main front guns, at the front of the CAS, through the gas cloud. So we forward 7 inches to there.
Right, so let's just check the arc. Yep, that's going through the gas cloud. So, still 20 dice of Supermac. This is probably going to hurt even at -1 firepower. So, no rerolls unless you use your lightning dice. Let's see what it does. Oh, that was that wasn't
too bad. Could have been worse. I might have to use a dice though.
So you're up to 9.
Yeah. No, 10.
10?
Oh no, it's 9. Yeah.
Yep, 9. So you need 1 more point to do damage.
I have to do it then. Reroll 2. Oh!
4. Remember, no
It's a shame I
rerolls.
can't reroll.
But 13 damage and an automatic vulnerable marker because the 2 super max on the Punic. Total max 6. Now, let me just get my card for the. It has a defense array value of. Let me just zoom that in. 8.
Shut up, man. It's alright, it's vulnerable. I'm still better off.
So 9, you've got 13 with 8 dice.
Statistically.
With 8 dice, I have to stop 5 damage. -1 as well because of vulnerable. So, yeah.
You've done it, yeah.
Yep. We can get a reroll there just to,
Rub it in.
take one out, and I've stopped. What's that? 7 damage.
Yeah, I don't think 5's going to go through.
She's a tough old girl. Are your missiles in range?
I very much doubt it, but I will give it a go. 24 inches.
Yeah, looks like it.
Right.
Falls just short. Okay, so these ships do seem like they're more of a mid-range ship than a long-range ship.
Oh, it's a vulnerable marker. I can't complain too bad.
Oh well, I'm going to see if the ORS is anything to do next. Okay, so the ORS can't really get a shot on the Marathons or the Punic. It's a bit out of the way, so it's going to move forward 5 and then turn 45, and the Corvette's with it. Okay, turn, move 9, and turn again. I doubt they've got anything in range even with the plasma torpedoes. Nope. So that is the end of the ORS's activation. I'll just move those escorting ships up.
Right, so the brick's going to go now. I'm going to move it forward 8 inches. So it's going to go to there. That's going to move up behind, or next to it. And then these are going to hard burn forward 13 inches. Just going to bring them to just in front.
I knew I was being a bit too brave for these Corvettes. So they've been caught out in the open, but the ORS has got hard cover, so it should be fine.
Bring them up to escort again. Need the pointer. Everything is going to be within firing range, so I'm going to shoot at everything. And it's 20 inches for light Mac, which are well within.
Oh yeah, so everything else is going to be in as well.
Yep.
So
we have light Mac for the frigates, Mac for the
you're going to have to separate them because of the elusive rule. Now the frigate's going to be at -1 because of elusive.
Okay.
No, sorry, because of cloaking, and the Marathon's will be at -2 because of both been cloaking.
Okay, so we'll do the frigates first. So -1. Wow.
So they did 2 damage. And,
Marathon.
so 2 scouted ones for these guys, and they're at -1 success because of that damage.
Yep.
That's a magical one.
Yep.
That one. Yeah, it would have been a 1 anyway.
So 2 scouted ones. That would have been unfortunate.
Still pretty healthy amount of dice.
Alright, okay, so that one.
And then -1 success for damage.
So -1.
That's still a ridiculous number of dice for a Corvette squadron.
Yeah.
How many is that?
That is the Marathon, so that's just light Mac. So
12.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Right.
So roll for Mac.
You got Mac 6, so
Mac
we'll
6.
go
This is true.
Now, I'll just make a mental note of the fact this has got a vulnerable marker on it, because it is now at 3, 2, 2, so 7, and you've done 12 damage, and I get 2 dice, -1 for defense arrays, which predictably do squat, and that is the first element to get killed. Actually,
It is.
it is. So
That's a good point.
it will take its. Oh, it's falling apart in my hand here. It will take its place of honor, right there. First blood, MVP covenant. Right, your missiles.
Which can't shoot at anything because they were shooting at the Corvettes.
Yep, they were the firing solution, which we didn't declare, but we do plan the firing solutions out before we film them. Was declared towards the Corvettes, which are now dead. So the missiles don't hit anything. Right, I've got 2 battle groups left to activate. Very, very weird having battle groups left after the UNSC are done as Covenant, but well, we'll see what they do.
I guess I can sit down and have a coffee now.
So, CCS is going to move up, and then the SDVs. So they're going to sit there. going to do the plasma lance and the Corvette's plasma cannons at this ship, and the Corvette's plasma torpedoes at that ship. So we'll start with the plasma lance. -1 firepower due to long range, and -1 success due to damage. That's, whoa, that looks pretty healthy to me.
Very healthy.
That's 8, 12, -1 for the damage. I'm going to spend my lightning dice to reroll 2 of those. Another 2. Right, so that is 13 points of damage from the lightning, from the thingy, the plasma lance.
My 4 adamantium armor, which does 1.
That is just enough to save the second layer of armor.
Jolly good.
Right, so does it crit? No, it doesn't.
It's not.
But that's a point of damage on that. Now, maybe the plasma cannons on the Corvettes will get super lucky when I doubt it. 3 shots in the oblique formation. 2, that is 1 point short of doing damage. That was a really good roll on 3 dice.
It was an impressively good roll.
That was a very good roll. Okay, 4 plasma torpedo dice at the arrowheads. Sorry, the trident here. 2, no rerolls. So, no damage there. Right, well, the plasma lance wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
He did pretty good.
Right.
Next up, my little outrider force of Corvettes. They're going to hug that planet without touching it, because otherwise they crash land on it. Now just checking coherency. Haven't quite got it there. So this base is going to end up blocked by the planet, but it does nicely chain the coherency up. So we do have plasma torpedo range on these 2, and that one just about.
Just about.
But no plasma cannon on that one, or even the front one.
Nope, so just the torpedoes.
Just torpedoes, right. For more information, I think someone will get a section of torpedo dice. Yep. So that is 1 line formation and 2 obliques. Now we're at firepower 4 because of the missiles. So those 2s do have a reroll. That is. Next up, my little outrider force of Corvettes. They're going to hug that planet without touching it, because otherwise they crash land on it. Now just checking coherency. Haven't quite got it there. So this base is going to end up blocked by the planet, but it does nicely chain the coherency up. So we do have plasma torpedo range on these 2, and that one just about.
Just about.
But no plasma cannon on that one. Right, so end of the first turn. It's been quite bloody, but not a lot has actually died. A lot got damaged though. So we're going to see if the CCS manages to repair its vulnerable markers. It does not. The forward section of the CAS. It does not either. Okay. And Shaun, I imagine, is going to use his Lord Hood's repair ability.
I am going to use my Lord Hood's repair ability.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's on that one there?
On this one right here, yeah. Which one does it need?
You need a 1 or a 2.
1 or a 2. Good job, guys, good job.
You've got the other one there.
No, I think I'll pass. I think I'll wait.
Sure?
Yeah, because I
All
want
right.
to keep that.
Right, so end of turn. As far as board state goes, we're dividing it into halves for sector control. Shaun does have a foothold on this half of the board. You can see the dividing line there. So neither of us have sector control. There's no other special rules at play. So quite simply, Shaun has killed one of my Corvette squadrons, so he's 1 point up. We're playing up to 15 points. So mainly because one of these going down, when they eventually do go down, will be pretty much all of that 15 points. So, without further ado, Reroll order dice, and we'll see what happens in the. Oh, you lost a Spartan.
I'll take the Spartan.
Right, so I've got.
Oh, she shoots, she scores.
3 offensive dice.
Hey, JMac.
Oh, you're going to do the hood thing, aren't you?
I'm going to do the hood thing. I'm not only going to do the hood thing, I'm going to do the Cortana thing. I'm going to do.
Right, so you're going to pop her ability. Who's she going to mess up?
She is going to mess up your CAS.
I never saw that coming. Is she going to knock down its firepower rating by 2, rendering it useless?
Of course she is.
I've got a cheeky surprise for that.
I am also going to use Lord Hood's ability to combine 2 of my units, which is going to be my normal brick and the Punic.
Right. I wonder what they're going to target. So we'll see who's going first. I'll decide whether I have a CAS next turn, I imagine. You've got 2 Spartan helmets. You get +3. I get rerolls. So you roll yours first.
5.
I need a 6. That's a 2. Baratami lets me reroll. That's not a 2. I should probably change my dice up. Anyway, we'll do the wings phase.
Although, you can look at it this way. You do have pretty much an entire turn of just outmaneuvering me.
Once you move those 2, what does it have? 3... I might actually get quite lucky with that. Anyway, we'll quickly do the wings phase and then see if anything happens from that.
Right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move these, I'm going to turn them 45 degrees so they're going to go that way, and then I'm going to move them 7 inches forward, so they're going to go 45 degrees. Actually, not quite 7 inches forward. These guys are going to do the same, and they're going to move up next to it. Move these this way a little bit, turn them 45 degrees, and go to there. So my Macs are going to go against this beastie right here, and my torpedoes will hopefully go against that one.
I was worried you'd say that about the Max. Okay, so what is it, 26 dice?
So I can roll all of these together because I don't get any debuffs against yours, but -2 successes. So all of my Macs.
Alrighty then.
Is a 6 Mac rating, so not.
It'll be its 3rd vulnerable marker if it survives.
To be fair, it wouldn't be the first time this has happened.
I can't see the CCS surviving.
On the upside, I can't re-roll any dice.
Yes you can.
Yeah, but I mean other than the 2s.
Oh, okay, so -2 successes. So that leaves you on
2,
how much
4,
there?
6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Right, so with our 3rd vulnerable marker, I'll just throw that on the tower here. That leaves us on 4 and 0.
Oh.
So what was I getting? 11?
2, yeah, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so I need to stop. I need to stop 8 damage on 4 dice, is it? 8 damage on 4 dice. Now, if I didn't have -3, this would actually be possible. But for giggles, let's see how well we did. We rolled a 1.
Cool.
So, my CCS is dead. And missiles, if you roll them against this poor Corvette here, who did nothing wrong.
No, sure.
Nothing to deserve this.
I get 1 reroll?
Yep.
I should have rolled them separately.
Oh yeah, because the elusive rule.
Do you want me to reroll them?
That's alright, the 1 reroll, we'll just
sure?
attribute that to a frigate, it's alright.
Cool, okay.
So he can...
reroll the 1. Sorry guys for that little mess up.
I'm sure they'll crucify you in the comments later.
This is
so,
true.
-2 successes because of the damage. And that is a lot of... That's a lot of missile dice.
8, 10, 11.
11 damage. Alright, so little corvettes. They get 3-point defense dice, which stops 1.
So it's still 10.
And 2 defense rate dice. You need to stop 1, otherwise you're dead. Right, you stop 3.
So that is 7 damage.
7, that's enough to go through 2 layers, so 2 crit dice.
I got a crit.
Okay, so 2 damage markers in the crit, but they're still in the fight. Right. Good old Corvettes. CCS, not so much, it's dead. Right, well, my activation next. So, ORS is going to activate move, and then turn. Now he's going to open up with his plasma lance, which isn't, it's only in short range of the frigates, so I'm probably going to target the wounded cruiser at the back with the lance. Roll 14 dice of it. Or
-1 firepower.
do I target the unwounded one? I'm going to target the frigates with plasma cannon dice, although they'll be at -2 firepower, so that'll be useless. Decisions. The unwounded frigate gets the plasma lance.
Lovely.
The wounded one gets the plasma cannon.
Yay.
So, plasma cannons first. -1 firepower, so we don't get any rerolls, but...
Ooh, snap. Brace. Oh.
It's dead.
No, it's not.
6 and 3. And no titanium armor because I knocked it off last
I thought you were
time.
going for the
The plasma cannons are going against the wounded one.
Oh, I thought you said the unwounded one.
No, the lance is going against the unwounded one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got more dice so it can get through titanium armor.
Yep, yeah, that did pretty.
I wasn't expecting that though.
It's true.
So, the lance is now going against the unwounded one.
Oh, snap.
So that is...
Damn it, what is it with you and your good rolls today?
Damn, the ORS is killing it. Literally, hopefully. That is 13 dice of damage. I'm not going to reroll any of that. That's pretty nice.
So I get my 3 dice of titanium armor? Yeah.
Yep, so...
Come on, double, triple 2. Oh,
so you knock it down by 1, which leaves 12 damage. So still enough to go through 2 layers.
Yep.
Crits.
No
crits. But
that's
pretty
healthy. Yeah.
Pretty healthy volley of fire. That's 2 points of damage.
Yeah, I'll take 2 damage tokens, please. And I'll cry. Oh, 1 damage token. I've got 1.
If I'd killed that, that would have really started your whole road good thing. End of phase. That all.
Plasma torpedoes. Are they not in range?
Oh, you only get them if you're supported.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. Right, so Punic and this are going to go because of Lord Hood's ability.
Yep.
So I'm going to hard burn this forward to there, bringing up everything that comes with it.
Yep, so just, I'm pointing laser pointer upside down, just checking his arc here.
Oh.
The CAS is definitely within firing arc of that Supermac and has got completely unobstructed line of sight. Oh, well, they're finally going head to head.
Yep, the Punic gets to go first, but I do still have to move these.
Yep.
So,
and for all that massive amount of Mac dice into one firing solution.
and we're going to go.
I'm very glad the ORS managed to get in and do some sabotage work before the CAS have to start taking damage.
I'm going to have to move these out of the way.
Yeah, just nudge them to one side. They're your fighters anyway, screw those guys.
Hey.
They killed my Seraphs.
Right, so
We had a very uneventful wings phase. Many bombing runs were attempted, none actually inflicted any damage.
those guys were avoided because you killed off my thing.
Oh, those poor guys. Well, I've got 2 dead guys.
Oh, that's true.
Two
So we're
soon
about
to be dead guys here, yeah.
soon to be dead now. Right, so Punic, I will actually. Do I get any? I don't get any minuses, do I? So I should roll
Nope.
all together.
No negatives. The only thing would be the cruiser, because it's -2 successes, but you can take off the end. Can you actually fit that many dice in your hands? What is that? 6, 8, 20, 34 dice.
34 dice.
Damn, I only rolled
But
up.
considering what my rolls have been like this game, I'm going to need all 36 dice.
I mean, like, if you're playing Imperial Guard, that'd be a lot of dice. So, Roll them. Let's see what happens. Firepower 4, so any 2s do offer rerolls, and I am weeping inside.
Yeah, that's what, 5-2 so far? It's 10.
Oh my god. Well, at least he doesn't get any rerolls because he used all of his dice on Cortana's ability.
I don't know if I need it.
And yeah, I don't think you do. -2, but out of that pool of dice.
-2, which I'm going to put over here.
It's like taxing a billionaire. So that is, the initial dice pool is 10 plus
10, 12, 14,
19.
16, 18, 19, plus 5 rerolls. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, anything other than skulls. Then you get another reroll there. So that we're now to 22, 24, and another reroll. 26, oh, and another reroll. 28, oh for God's sake, 29. Right. I was expecting to be sitting here to the camera around our barrage going reroll, reroll, reroll. So that is Mac plenty. That's Mac 10. It's interesting that I reckon they should introduce a rule. If you manage to get up to Mac 12, you get 2 vulnerable markers, but by that point it doesn't matter anyway, does it? 2 off the each damage tracks. We're now at 8, 6, 5, so what is that? 16, 2, 4, 6, 21.
8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29.
I need to stop 10 points of damage.
With your many dice.
You get lots of defense to them.
Although, to be fair, if I go through more than 2 and I manage to deal another critical, my missiles do have a lot of shots.
Show off. Right. Oh, not those dice. So that's -3 for... No, -2 for vulnerable either way. I do get 1 reroll. Let me just think this through. 4. I'm going to need the luckiest dice ever to get that. I'm going to have to go for it. Reroll 2 defense array dice, because otherwise I'm going to lose a very significant bit of my firepower. No. So,
what's that, -6?
yeah, so that is still enough.
23.
Kill it. That kills it.
Yes! Go, Lord Hood!
There's not really any way of marking a dead section.
No, you're right, there's not.
Other than smothering and damage tokens, which is what we'll do right now. So, let me just get the big bang of damage tokens out. Struggling here right now. The CAS takes 1 in the nose, and...
Which is -1 firepower to it permanently.
And in addition to that, Shaun scores a tasty 5 points, which puts him comfortably in the lead.
Can I shoot you with my missiles now?
Yeah. How does that work actually?
That is a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
Where's the laser
pointer?
pointer?
It's the same target, isn't it?
Yes.
I will get -1 for...
Although when you declared the firing solution, you fire the closest target, which was that. Which is now dead. Because you target the sections as if there are ships.
Then yeah, fair enough, I can't do it.
Although this guy's got space and there might be an extra victory point. They haven't clarified actually if the zealots given free on the CAS give victory points away like the ones you buy. We're going to presume yes and wait for an FAQ on that. So
I can't shoot.
on a lighter note, this is the end of Shaun's activations because he had very few battle groups and he threw 2 of them into 1 attack. So you have the CAS, that 1 lone corvette, and then the squadron of corvettes there. So we'll see what these guys do. Okay, moment of revenge. The corvettes are going to try and take out this Marathon class cruiser. So 3 plasma torpedoes. Nope. And the plasma cannon race, which are in firepower rating 5 range because they're in short range. So that is 3 damage with them. You've got no titanium armor, and you don't get point defense against plasma cannons.
So that's that dead then, yeah?
That is that dead.
Yeah.
Too late to save the CAS, but oh well.
Right, next activation, because I'm all done.
Right. More corvettes. Let's see, they've got their plasma torpedoes. which they're all going to concentrate on that squadron. This one's in short range, and then their plasma cannon, they're all going to concentrate on the cruiser. Only one of them's in short range. No, wait, actually 2 of them. So, plasma torpedoes first. 6, 8. So the oblique formation gets 3 each. So there's 3 in rapid fire, and the rest in long range. So firepower in 5, but -2 successes. Yep. And the rest of the pool. So 2, 7. They do get rerolls for this because they're at firepower 4. So that is 8 damage, -2 for the damage actually. So only 6 damage is not enough to hurt it.
Okay.
Right, and then the line formation and the oblique are in short range. And
What's this for?
It's for the plasma cannons, just working out the dice.
It's not for the torpedoes.
Yeah, actually no, because brain fart there. I did 6 damage, but the plasma torpedoes are targeting these guys. It's plasma cannons that are targeting these guys.
I get my titanium armor then?
Yep, and you get your point defense as well on top of that.
Nope.
Okay, so you start 1, 5 gets through, so that's enough to do damage. No critical though. Right, and plasma cannons against the cruiser. Short range. 1. And long range, so no rerolls. Yeah, that's -2 successes as well, so we'll just pack those dice away. Right, so that's the corvette's done.
Now for the CAS that can only move.
So the CAS is going to move up 5, and then it's going to turn broadside, roughly.
Opening your side out, very nice.
Let's see, can I actually do anything at all? Now I've got -2 firepower for Cortana, -1 because the front section's down. God, I can't really do anything, can I? Right, we're going to concentrate the broadside missiles on the wounded cruiser there, and we're also going to spend these dice to give it +2 firepower. So -3 +2, but -1. So I don't get rerolls, but 2 still counts 2s.
Is that just for the midsection or for the whole ship?
That's for the that's one for one firing solution.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that just means 1 weapon attack.
Yep.
I'll check the rule later to be sure. But there is 16 dice of plasma torpedoes. And it is going against this cruiser. So 2,
There's the roll side now.
6, 8. No damage to that section, so no negatives. You do get point defense. You have to stop 5 damage.
4 dice should be. Oh no, wait, is it 4 dice? Yeah, it's 4 dice.
He's unsupported.
3 dice. It's point defense, isn't it?
Yep.
It's 4 dice.
Oh wow, that's pretty solid.
3 dice titanium armor. I stop 2.
Alright, so he's dead.
Yep. Do I put that over there?
Yep. And that is the end of my shooting.
It's the end of the turn.
Yep, end of the turn. So we'll just do the following markers. So I've got 1 on the corvettes there. So we're going to try and repair that. They do. So that's gone. That keeps me quite a little longer.
I'm going to spend my last little defensive thing to try to heal
Those frigates.
which I get.
You do. So I have chipped away your cruisers actually this time round.
You have. You've taken 3 out. So basically it's going to be my Punic that tries to take out everything else.
We'll see. Right. So Shaun managed to kill a CAS this round, which netted him 3 points. So he's brought up to a total of 4 so far. However, I did get quite lucky at the end there and managed to kill 2 marathon cruisers, which nets me an additional 4 points. So, he's got 4 points there, and I've got 7 points. However, we also have the damaged section of the CAS, which is another 5 points, so I was feeling quite optimistic until I remembered that. On top of that, I have one zealot who's spaced, and is now dead.
I also have
so that's another victory point.
2, 4, 6 guys to roll for.
Bear with me a sec. So that was another 6 points on top of that. So Shaun is now on 10 points, and I am on 7. I'll have to see if I can take out that Punic in order to get points back. We'll see, we'll see. Probably not. Right, so board state, start of turn 3, isn't it?
Yes, start of turn 3.
It's been bloody. So, Shaun has rolled a healthy pool of dice. I've rolled a pretty decent pool of dice myself. I'm going to use the command dice there to form all 5 of these corvettes up into one squadron.
I am going to use Cortana's ability to give the ORS -2 firepower.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
And Lord Hood's ability to link up, oops, missed one, to link up Punic with these 2 frigates.
Okay, so we'll quickly run through the wings phase. Hopefully something actually happens this time, and then we'll get into the element phase. Okay, so fairly eventful wings phase compared to the previous ones. We had some bombing runs that didn't get off or didn't manage to get anything done. We had 2 bombing runs, did damage to 2 frigate squadrons here. One quite severely, got a whole lot of bombers on that one, but didn't quite kill it. And one lonely bomber survived the point of defense here and didn't quite manage to do any damage to the corvettes there. Plus we had a big old dogfight here, and all the UNSC died. So, now that's out of the way, Shaun is going to use his Lord Hood comboed frigates and Punic, and they are going to throw mountains upon mountains of dice at the midsection of my CAS, and which is worth 6 points.
6 points, right.
Because if he manages to get 6 points off that, that is a victory for Shaun.
Right, okay,
so
7 points, 4 inches forward. Stays covering that.
Yep, and he's definitely in arc with that one.
And I'm going to brings me within 12 inches of throwing my Spartan on your aft section.
Aww. Spartans, I freaking hate Spartans.
And I'm going to bring them forward as well so that I can do as much damage as physically possible on your midsection.
Feels a bit unfair, really.
Right, okay,
why don't you send the Spartan in before you blow up the ship so he's on board? And he can do a
Who said I'm going to blow up the ship with the aft section? Hopefully I'm just going to kill off the head.
Oh, well, okay, fine.
So, I can roll all of the Mac together, can't I?
Yep. Yeah, there's no negative modifiers at play, other than -1 success, but that amount of dice, I don't think it'll matter.
Wow. Well, way to roll the dice I need to now. Holy hell.
Oh my god. So that's 3, 2, that's
2,
16,
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18,
20,
20,
22, yeah.
Plus 2.
Oh, but -1 success, Shaun.
8, 2,
And then you get
6.
all the rerolls.
So another 2 rerolls. No. Right, okay, so that is all of the rerolls done.
So what was that, 20, 21 it ended up being plus...
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27.
And an automatic vulnerable. So our damage tracks are now 10, 9, 4. So that's 23, isn't it?
Yep.
However, we do get a very hefty defense array value of 9. -1 success. 9. So what was that again?
27.
27. You've got to do 21 to kill it. Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
10, 9, 4. 23 to kill it.
23 killers. You need to stop 4 on your 7 dice.
9 dice.
9 dice. Whoa.
I need better dice than that.
No,
Oh no, actually no, that did do it. So that is minus one success. So that knocks it down by 5.
Which brings it down to 22.
22. I do get 2 rerolls. However, I am going to use my 2 defense ray dice to try and get a bit more comfortable survival on this. So I'm rerolling 4 dice. Adds another 2 into the stack. So that knocks down by 7.
2, 4, 6, 7.
So what have we got left now?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
20. Damn it! Still goes through the second layer.
So we have 2 critical rolls.
Yep.
Nope.
Neither of them goes vulnerable, but it has only got 5 points of damage, and I'm imagining all the missiles targeting the cluster helmet are going to target that.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That was not quite as good. Enough to go through, but you've got lots of defense.
Let's see what have I got. I've got a point defense of 9. Nope, sorry, defense rates of 9.
So we've got
And the camera's not quite really getting a good picture on this. And point defense of nope, wrong section. That's fantastic. It's late at night. I'm tired.
6, 8, 9.
Point defense of 8, defense rate of 9.
So you've got to stop 4, 5
with 17 dice.
Yep.
So 8 dice of point defense.
This is true. I do get a reroll. So you actually have to stop 6. You stopped 6.
-1. I stopped 8 on the point defense alone.
Okay.
So that is barely surviving.
Right. Okay. So that's all of that done. But
Are you going to try and board it for Spartan?
I am going to try to board with the Spartan. Question is, do I board the midsection with the Spartan to see if I can blow the thing up? I'm going to board the midsection with the Spartan.
Okay, Spartan's going to eat plasma. So point defense. Is he got friends going with him?
He is got friendlies going with him. He's going to take that squad as well. Because the rest is not going to be within range.
8 point defense dice. I do healthy amounts of damage.
2, 4, 6.
Reroll.
So that's going to kill off what? 2?
-1 for
2. So it's going to kill 1.
You can only kill 1.
Okay.
They get the save.
Oh, okay. Wait, what's the save?
If you roll a 2, they save.
Nope.
Nope.
Dies.
A whole Marine squad. Right. But that's pretty much the end of their activation, isn't it?
Yep.
Alright. Right, so in retaliation for that, before Shaun gets to activate this squadron, I'm gonna move my corvettes up nice and aggressively. Move that one up a bit more aggressively. Let's see, so about there. That was just out of rapid fire. In the wrong game there. So that's a line formation. We're going to start with plasma cannons against this, and then follow in with the plasma torpedoes. So let's see, line formation, get 3 plasma cannons each. So one's at long range, and the rest are in short range.
-2 successes.
Yep, because of the damage. So short range.
Oh, good God.
Oh my God. That was 6 and 3.
Wow.
So that allows me, let's just roll this as well in short range. So we got 2 and a 1, we don't get rerolls. Get reroll these 6 dice because of the 2s. Alright, so didn't roll up that well. But that is -2 successes. 14. 17 dice of damage. Now you get your titanium armor, Shaun.
Pretty sure I statistically can't win this one, but you know.
Well,
Do you get a reroll?
so another reroll.
Okay, well this is going slightly better than I thought. So we've got 2
So-
2s, we knocked off 5.
Knocked out 5, so that is 6. So that's 7 for the first layer and 5, so just falls short of
Just
that
fall
second
short
layer.
of second layer, that's good.
Does it critical?
It does not.
Doesn't.
This guy's got a little bit of armour.
Okay, now Our plasma torpedoes are all in short range, so we're going to get 4
Same
for
target.
each line formation. Yep, and 3 for each oblique formation. So 17 dice, all at 5 5. 1. Let's see. That's looking for. We've got 9 damage there. I do get 2 rerolls. I'm going to spend this lightning bolt dice here to reroll another 2 dice, just to be safe. So, -2 successes for damage. That gives us 6 and 3 more. So if Shaun fails his point defense rolls, this will be a dead ship. So, you save it just enough to stop it from getting blown up.
Sweet.
Does it critical?
No.
It does not.
Sweet. Lucky, lucky me. If I could get another damage counter, please. I'm running out of a head.
End of activation.
Right, since I'm going to have to move half distance with these, and they're the only unit I've got left to move, they're going to have to overshoot these guys. So I'm going to bring them generally to the other side of here and turn them 45 degrees. And these guys are going to move just 5 inches forward. So they're going to come up to there. And yeah. And these guys are going to do the same.
So,
other than that, I'm not going to be able to do very much, but what I probably could do is these guys are going to shoot their plasma Mac guns at them, those 2 at that one.
yep. And then they'll be, will they be firing missiles broadside or?
Broadside, yeah. So missiles, ooh, sorry, I'm knocking stuff now. Missiles.
Okay, and then this will be firing its missiles broadside or forward?
They're going to go
the
forward.
cruiser. Okay, so Mac and missiles at this ship from the cruiser, and then Mac guns from the frigates at this ship, and then missiles at this ship, and this ship firing broadside. So,
I'll do 10 from the Marathon first at your corvettes.
Yep. So -1 firepower because of elusive, and -2 successes because of damage. So,
That's not too bad. That's like the first roll.
pretty solid then.
Get 2 rerolls. Do I get 2 rerolls?
Nope, because you're firepower free.
So -2 successes for damage.
That's
We've got
9 damage.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9 damage.
You've got Mac 2, so you do get the Mac effect off on a 2.
Which I do not get.
Nope.
So we've got 9 damage.
9 damage, I get 2 defense array dice. 2
7,
and a 1. So
6 damage. It goes through the first layer.
Yep, but not for the second one. Any critical?
Nope.
Nope. So, missiles off of that then?
So I'll do the missiles for that guy as well.
Wrong
4,
token.
8. These ones are -1 and -2 successes for close range missiles.
Yeah, because it's elusive. So again, no rerolls.
So I've got 2,
6
4,
damage.
6 damage.
Right, no vulnerable tokens. So I get 3 point defense dice, which knocks down
Yep, you did
3
it.
damage, and then defense arrays,
3 dice.
which knocks down another one,
Yep.
just to be sure.
Okay,
So-
so now these ones, we've got 3
Mac
dice
guns.
apiece.
So 6 dice.
Yep. These ones, you're not getting any.
Negative, so you get rerolls. Because you're no elusive.
Not that I need them, apparently.
What's that, 3
3.
damage? Well, these have got
No.
4 damage on the first track, so that's not enough.
Yep. So now it's just missiles for me to pair.
So we'll do the missiles against the wounded ship first, 'cause that's probably going to result in a kill.
2, 4, 6.
So again, no negatives here.
Oh wait. Yeah, so those 2 broadside, and do I get the 2 from the other side as
Yep,
well?
you can fire twice, 1 on each side, or once forward.
So missiles 4.
And you get a reroll.
Nope, 4.
4 damage. Well, that is enough.
Yeah, but you've got point defense.
Point defense, not successful. Defense arrays, I need to knock down at least 2 of this. Okay, well, pair of skulls, you can't really argue with that. That is one dead ship. And this one here, it's going to take another 6 missile dice.
2, 4, 6. 4.
4 again.
So it's enough to go through one layer?
Just enough.
Just enough.
Point defense, I knock it, yep, that's with a reroll. 5. I shot down more missiles than you actually fired.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to board your...
Okay. 3 point defense. Nope.
Sweet.
So I don't manage to stop them getting on board.
Well,
So
that could end horribly for me.
that could end horribly for all of us.
This is true.
So that was your last activation, right?
Yep.
Alright, so my turn. So the ORS is going to move next, 5 inches up, and then a 45-degree turn. So it's got its choice of targets of the 2 frigate squadrons are there. Now he's taken -2 firepower off of this due to Cortana's special rule against the machine. So if I fire at long range, for example, if the plasma cannons only have a 10-inch short range, is it -1 from normal plasma, -3, I won't be able to shoot anything. So I've only got the plasma lance, and what I'm probably going to do, I knocked that out, is plasma lance across there and see if I can kill that ship, or I could try for the Punic, but I doubt I'm going to get through the armour. So I'm going to go for the uninjured squadron there. No, wait, actually I'll still be at -2 firepower, won't I? So I'm going to go for the damage squadron, because any 2s I roll count as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 2. So that is 7 damage to the damage squadron. So no point defense or titanium armor because they've already taken damage.
So that kills it.
Yep.
Bleh.
Bit of a waste of an ORS.
Oh, good that fun.
Yeah. And we're not quite in boarding range.
No.
No, definitely not. So I can't board that ship yet. Oh well. That's the end of activation. Right, so the CAS at last, I've got to try and work out how much damage I can throw out from this one ship. So I'm going to move it. It's minimum 3 inches. And I'm going to turn it like that. So
interesting.
with just it's really hard to judge because the peg isn't actually in the centre of the base, but it looks like we've got 10-inch short range with plasma cannons there, which means we'll also have the plasma torpedoes in short range. Yep. Additionally, we've got plasma cannons and obviously plasma torpedoes out here. So I'll do the midsection first, because as each section is a ship, I imagine you can organise firing solutions per ship. So that puts out 16 dice of plasma torpedoes and 15 dice of plasma cannon. I'm going to open up the plasma cannon first. It's a firepower 4, because I am -1 firepower, the front section is dead. I'm also in short range, and that was terrible. That was utterly terrible. I don't get any rerolls as well. And it's taking 2 points of damage, so that's going to be -2. So, yep, well, that failed. We'll give the plasma torpedoes a shot, hopefully they're luckier, though the Punic will get an absolute mountain of dice to deal with this. Oh well, so...
Well, that went better.
4, and that says 13 damage. I get 4 rerolls, not rerolling skulls though, it's not firepower 5. Well, that was pretty healthy. -2 for the damage in the midsection. Probably put the markers back on there, so we've got room. So that is 12 and 17 damage.
And I get a healthy 8 dice of titanium armor and 7 dice of point defense.
It would be a miracle if I get that through.
So 2, 4, 6, 8 of point defense, titanium armor. I get 1, 2, 3. No rerolls, and then we've got
that
2,
knocks it down
4,
to
6, 7.
14 point defense.
And last 7.
Knocks it
With 1
down.
reroll.
4, which leaves me on 10.
Which I think
is just
enough to go through.
Right, so we'll see if it crits. It does
crit.
now. The Punic has a special rule, Shaun. On a 1 or a 2, you automatically ignore the vulnerable straight away because it repairs itself.
No,
it doesn't.
Vulnerable.
So vulnerable, and I think it's a bit too late for me, but I have wounded the Punic. But I think the Punic's gonna kill me first. Right, next.
The aft section
We're gonna fire
poor defenseless marathons.
Yep, and also the frigates.
Okay, so
we're going to pump plasma cannon into this and plasma torpedoes into this. We're not going to leave anything to chance. So we're -1 firepower because the front's gone, and another -1 because of long range. So 2s do count as 1s, but I only have to do 3 points of damage, and I've done 5. So. No, that's these guys there. They're dead. And plasma torpedoes. Now, I don't take a long range negative for plasma because the missile bonus overrides that, but I do take a negative for elusive. So again, 2s here are going to count as 1s, but you do get your point defense. I've got 7 damage through. 2 dice. Yep. I don't think you can actually do this, but 1.
Not with those rolls.
So that's a little bit more. That's looking a bit more.
Well, at least I got my borders on there beforehand. So.
And you got them on the midsection, which means my rear section is going to fly some dudes onto your ship, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope we get really lucky.
Right. So what do I get for that? That's point defense. So I believe I get that's 7 dice. 3, 4. I need that dice.
2 or 4 damage, and you get a reroll as well. So 6.
So we have 6 here.
Okay, so does my pod full of grunts die? Yes, it does. However, the Zealot makes it. I have not got high hopes for him, but hopefully Shaun rolls terribly. Well, fingers crossed. Right, so end of turn. Is it 3 or 4 now?
I believe that was turn 3, I believe.
It's been very bloody.
Extremely bloody.
I'm quite chuffed. I managed to rip some serious chunks into Shaun's fleet, but my CAS is very vulnerable right now. We're going to see if I can repair the vulnerable marker on it, on a 1 or a 2. Nope. I don't. So, we'll see if Shaun can repair the vulnerable on his Punic.
I can. The vulnerable is gone.
Yep, so that's gone.
And I'm going to use my Lord Hood's last order dice to see if I can repair the damage on the Punic as well. Which I believe I do on
a 1 or a 2. So, that big Hail Mary I did, Lord Hood just said, nah, that Punic's fixed. So, we now go into boarding. We'll get this ship out of the way.
This might give me some victory points if I'm lucky.
Yeah, let's see. I get 2 security detail. Shaun, you get 2.
4.
You get
so
4.
2
so
each.
I get 2 dice. I rolled 3.
That's disappointing.
You
Not
rolled
so much.
5, and you get a reroll there as well.
I get 2. So providing I do at least 1 point of damage.
You will beat me by double.
Nope.
Nope.
So just
you beat me.
plus 2 on my rolls.
Yep, plus 2 in the chart. Have we got the chart handy?
I did bring it up. It's in here somewhere.
Fingers crossed I kick him off my ship.
Yep,
I'd rather not have this blow up. Right,
this?
so you can roll it since you're the attacker.
Okay,
so that
4
is
plus 2, that is 6. That is
6.
a stalemate, nothing happens.
Alright, so, well, that was predictably boring. Now, my Zealot on board the ship.
The front section.
He's in deep with no cover, and he gets 3 dice. How many dice do you get?
6 security detail.
Oh, he's going to
And I can't, no, never mind.
hopefully he kills a lot of Marines. So, I rolled 3 with a reroll, so 3 damage. You rolled
4.
4. Oh,
So I beat you, but not by double.
Yep.
So it's -2 to your roll.
Yep, -2. So I'm going to roll like double ones, aren't I? Oh no, I did. Well, after -2, it is double ones, so he gets thrown out the airlock.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Good job, guy.
No, bloody repulse. You lose 2 attacking boarding craft chosen by the defender. Well, he's the only guy.
Yep. So
and
he tried.
4 inches.
He tried. He probably killed some Marines as well, you know.
Almost definitely.
Right.
Right. Can you give me a hand counting up the amount of guys?
Okay. So Shaun basically poured the Punic's entire load of like Marines on board here. So there's like, let's see, 1, 2. There's 6 squads of Marines, a Spartan. I tell you what, I'm going to use this Zealot to add a couple of extra dice to my defense pool. Now the CAS midsection does get quite a nice security detail of 8.
I have a lot of dice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 dice. Okay,
I get the 8 for the security detail, plus 3 from the Zealot, who may die. Fingers crossed he doesn't. Been enough of that lately.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and 11. 2 rerolls. Oh, and another reroll. So, how much did you get?
I've got 3 rerolls for my 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
Alright then. Fingers crossed. Nah. Looks like I've lost this one.
I don't think I'm going to beat you by more than double though. It's another reroll.
Yep.
Nope.
So how much is that? 8?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
14. And I rolled 6. I rolled 13.
Oh, okay.
Wow, you barely scraped it.
Yeah.
So the Spartan gives you +2 to the charge for Assault Specialist?
Where is he? I actually don't know where that rule is, so in total I get
It says Assault Specialist and a number.
2, yeah.
Yep, so it gives you +2 to the chart,
So
and you get +4. 9.
9.
I bet that just inflicts damage mark when it dies.
Place 1 vulnerable token.
Oh, well.
That's extremely disappointing.
Oh, that is. You damage the shielding. I get the impression the Punic Supermax will be putting many, many big holes in this. Alright, so on to turn 4. I really don't know if I can pull this back. So, Wingspace is quite eventful, especially for the Covenant.
Pretty much to be off the board.
Yeah, we seem to be getting air superiority in the Covenant side. This ship took a bit of damage from a whole bunch of bombers, while a whole bunch more wiped out that squadron. So Shaun is now down to 2 bases, but one of them is a Punic, which he is now about to activate, and it's got a bead right for the gut of my assault carrier. So, Shaun.
Right, so all I'm going to do is just move this 3, is it 3 inches? I'm pretty sure it's only 3 inches.
Yeah, it's 3 inches.
Yeah, half inch. It's 3 inches forward. So it's going to go to there. And I'm going to shoot my Supermax at the midsection. Or shoot the aft.
I'm pretty sure Supermax will be guaranteed to kill the midsection.
Yeah, but wouldn't be guaranteed to kill the aft section. What's the armor on the aft?
We're looking at 10, 8, 7, and a decent amount of defense arrays. 8 defense arrays.
No, right. I'll shoot the Supermax at the mid. No, I'm going to shoot him at the aft.
I really hope
my borders are on the middle.
It'd be really fun if you killed your Spartan.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot at the aft. And the missiles on my broadside and my rear are going to go at the ORS.
Yep, along with the light max as well.
And along with the light max from the midsection.
Okay, so what guns do you want to shoot first?
We'll shoot the heavy Supermax first, which is these 20 dice here, at your aft section.
Alright.
In the vain hope that
just going to cripple it bit by bit then.
Yeah.
So that's a healthy selection of
ones. But I do get...
Yeah, you did 9 damage, which is 1 short. You do get 2 rerolls and your
use
orders.
2 lightning dice.
Alright, so you get 6 rerolls in total?
Yep. So I'll take the 3 skulls, and I'll take 3 normals. That is a miss. Okay, so we've got another 3 ones. And a 2.
Which lets you have another reroll. Another 1. So what's that in total then?
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15.
15, right. Well, automatic vulnerable.
Yep.
To start off with. And then we've got 8 defense array dice, which are going to have to do a lot of work. Now, let's see. Let's see what they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much damage did you roll again?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15.
15, right. You need to get 6 through because that's at 9.
So you do get a reroll.
I do get 1 reroll. I'm going to burn 2 of these for another 2 rerolls because I don't trust my dice. There we go. Another 2, and then that, which we can discount. So the CAS's shields hold. Right. Next, I imagine we're going to go for Mini-Mac against the ORS.
Which is these ones.
So
at the front of the ORS. That's abysmal.
Yeah, that's just nowhere near enough.
Not even close.
Well, we've got a big old load of missile dice, so fingers crossed. Well, not my fingers, your fingers.
Can't cross the fingers, can't roll dice for crossing.
That's looking much better.
That's a little bit better. I am just out of close range, short range, so I do get re-rolls for missiles.
Yep. Well, you're at firepower 4 for missiles either way. Because if you're long range, I get cloaking.
4.
Nope. So what was that in total?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
16, right. We got to get 11 through. Now the unsupported ORS does get a pretty healthy pool of dice. Let me just try and find... Where is it? There it is. Right, so ORS, we get 5-point defense, 4 defense arrays.
So 9 dice in total. This is going to...
Point defense, stops 2, re-roll, 3 of them.
Yep, that brings me down to 13.
13.
Stop 2 with this.
I stopped 4. Yep. Shields hold.
Shields hold.
The Punic's not really doing the damage this round.
I'm going to board the aft section of your Punic.
All about the boarding, aren't you?
Well,
Right.
it stops your zealots coming after the front section of my
It does, it does. 7-point defense dice.
You killed 1.
Yep, so one guy's got to take his save. He gets to live on a 2.
Nope.
Nope. So that's 1 lonely... Is that 1 pelican or 2?
No, there's 2 pelicans.
Oh, they might have a chance. So that was the Punic's activation. I'll give you honest, that was some disappointing dice. Some lucky dice on my part and defences. And we could still very much see it blow up because of the borders. There is a Spartan on board.
But that does mean my Punic will be caught in the explosion of that ship.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
If I could take you down with me like a true Covenant martyr. So, my activation, I think I'm going to see if I can kill his other activation before it kills me.
Which is a good idea.
Just realised we forgot the end of turn recap for last round. It's quite a close game, so we're getting quite involved in it and really trying to see whether one of us can pull ahead of the other one. It's been very, very difficult to beat that Punic, but the Punic's still having trouble killing that CAS. And as far as the leaderboard goes, Shaun has only managed to kill 1 base of Corvettes, which nets him an additional point. Now, that does bring him up to 2, 5, 11 points total. And I've managed to kill 2 bases of frigates and a supported marathon, which gives me an additional 5 points. So that brings me up to 5, 8, 10, 12 points. Now, Shaun is on the verge of killing the midsection and possibly even the rear section of my CAS. So, I can't count my chickens yet, but fingers crossed I can pull this out of the bag. Right.
Cool.
So, the Corvette Squadron are gonna move over the frigates while still trying to keep them in some of their guns. Let's see, 8 inches there, and 8 inches to there. Now, They've got the Punic's rear section in most of their fire, and they've got their plasma cannon arrays. Apart from that one, who'll make a slight turn at the end of their movement. So we'll just check the arc on that one. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my... yeah, so turn at the end of their movement. Yeah, I'm going to either the Punic or the little frigates. So I'm going to leave the little frigates to the rest of the squadron. Now plasma cannons are going to go against the frigates. We'll hopefully kill them, and we might even get lucky because we're going to try and get the plasma torpedoes to kill some of the Punic's armour, soften it up for this ORS that's coming in the other flank. So we've got a line formation, two line formations in the oblique with their plasma cannons. So that gives us 3, 6, and then 4 plasma cannon dice. -1 success, but we're at firepower 5. So 2, 2. Oh, that's one very dead frigate. Yep. So -1 success. We still did 8 damage. Those frigates are gone. Now, time for the big game. 2 obliques and 2 line formations. Now, I've got one of each in short range, one of each in long range. So 7 dice short, 7 dice long. So these ones at firepower 5. So we get 5 dice, reroll, 6 dice. The ones at long range, which don't get rerolls and are at -1 success. So that, I don't think that was enough, was it? No. That was only 7 damage.
You need 10 to go through, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't expecting those guys to pull the out of the hat like that, but well, you know.
And the Punic reigns triumphant.
So far.
And now we have
the ORS is going to come in on this side, and it's going to turn. Let's check our range. We're still not quite in boarding range.
Thank God.
But we can get the plasma lance out. Let's see. Where is weakest on this? Where can I get the biggest damage going down? It's going to target the forward section with its lance and then its plasma cannon arrays to follow up. And it's going to pray for some serious luck. So, all these dice. That's not too bad.
Yeah, could have gone worse.
So 4, 10, 12 with 2 rerolls because we're firepower 5. Didn't matter. I've got no rerolls on my order dice. So 12 damage. You've got your titanium armor. You need to stop 3. Yeah, you stop it comfortably. So I think plasma cannons will get 10 dice. So 10. Firepower 3, so I'm really not expecting much from this. I don't get any rerolls. 4, 7, yeah. Not very effective. So, next activation is going to be CAS, which is...
I like how you get to activate everything after I've activated one ship.
I still don't understand how you managed to build a list that has less activations than Covenant.
Spartans that have done nothing.
Now let's see, I'm going to glide this way.
Meanie.
Because that means you're going to have to overshoot me or do some really awkward movement shenanigans. Rather than keep on lining up that Supermac.
Don't. Well, hopefully that's if I don't able to kill you with boarding actions first.
Fingers crossed you don't. So, after the roaring success of the ORS, the CS is going to have to try and show it how it's done. So 15 dice of plasma cannon at short range. We're at -1 firepower because of the damage to the front section, and that's freaking
abysmal. Wow, I thought my rolls were bad.
16 dice of plasma torpedoes. And I think it's the turn of nothing happening. I've got an entire Covenant fleet. I've got an entire Covenant fleet bearing down this ship. So that's 9 damage. I do get 2 rerolls.
That is enough.
11 damage. This is from the midsection actually, so it's minus 2 damage. It's only 9 damage.
Doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything.
Cool.
Anything at all.
So, rear section is out, I believe. Now we go to boarding.
Yep, so the rear section is boarding.
Right,
boarded.
okay. So we'll stop it for a moment.
Yep. So, on to boarding. He's got 2 Pelicans on board my Corvettes there. So, I get 2 dice, Shaun gets 4. So I roll terribly.
I rolled more than double.
Oh, easily. I
got +4.
Did you get more than double 0?
Yes.
So.
But that's still technically 2 times 0 is 0, so no.
Yep. So, 2d6 plus 4, do you blow it up?
I do not.
You do not. 7 is a stalemate,
It's
isn't
a stalemate, yes.
Yep.
That just does not want to die.
It's just nothing happening on that ship. I think they're both
being lazy.
I think they're watching the Punic versus CAS battle actually.
Yeah, and a cup of coffee.
Right, so should we do the aft section first? Okay.
I hold 4 dice
I'm gonna keep you from holding that massive pile of dice for the.
Stop it.
Right, so I'm gonna send one of these zealots into the fight. Give me an extra 3 dice on top of the 6 security detail. So 9 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. So I beat you, but not by more than double.
So it's -2 to my rolls.
All right.
See?
10
That's
minus 2, 8. You do better when you have a negative.
Shut up. Place 1 vulnerable token.
Oh, great. Another vulnerable token.
Not that that really matters, but you know. On the element base, defending player loses 1 boarding craft. Chosen by the defender.
Oh, I'm going to have to lose that other zealot then.
Yay!
Who emigrated over.
From the midsection of the last one.
Yes, after getting picked up from getting shot out the other section. So I'll have to see if both of them survive. Now, same deal here. I bring up a boarding craft to add extra security to the middle. I'll get 10 dice, Shaun gets a mountain.
I get 17.
I rolled 2, 6 with a reroll. Another 2. Let's see. Right, so I rolled 10. You rolled more than 10 votes of it.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I get +2 and +2 from the
Spartan.
Spirit.
So +4.
+4.
7 plus 4, 11. What does that do? Let me get. Is it going to be more vulnerable tokens?
No. 1 damage token. Boom!
You kill the middle. Right, yep.
Oh, wait. Does that mean it's a critical core breach? Because I killed it with borders.
No, unless you roll a 13, it's a critical core breach.
Sweet, okay.
Right, so. All of your dudes get spaced, all of my dudes get spaced.
That's fine.
So, let me just see. The guys who sacrificed themselves, those zealots, do they live? They did not live, so that's an extra 2 victory points to you, on top of losing the goddamn ship.
My Spartan, on anything but skull, doesn't die.
Yeah, typical. Goddamn Spartans.
Alright, and then I've got to roll 4 for 1 and 2 for the other.
Yeah. So 6 Pelicans. It's a shame I can't send the fighters after them.
Two survived.
2 survive, right? So
Can I
that's.
get rerolls? No?
No.
So I'll get rid of those 4.
Right, and I've got 2 aboard there. 1 survives. So he's just sort of chilling there.
Moseying around in there.
The rest of them very much dead. Okay, so that is another 6 victory points to Shaun. Another 2 there, so that's another 8 victory points to Shaun. Well, that's pretty much sealed it, isn't it?
I believe we might have just.
Okay.
So look, let's
Well,
count.
that was the end of the turn as well, wasn't it?
Yes.
Damn, I almost had him. So you had 6 victory points earlier from damage to CS, as represented there. So 6 plus 8, 14, plus 5, 19, and
You had 8, 6,
then plus 2 for the
plus 2 for
16.
16. But I then get, how many's there?
5, 11, plus another 6 for destroying it, so 17. And then wait, no, and then there's the 2 zealots. Oh, you've killed 3 zealots now, haven't you? So
Yes.
20. Damn.
So close.
16 versus 20. If I kill, you know, if that Spartan had died, it'd be a draw.
Oh, that's so. Oh, it's unreal.
But well, quite a bit of debate online about these two. And I gotta be honest, the CAS did take an absolute hammering. I think the Punic isn't that great unless you take it with Lord Hood. Then it gets repairs. Then you get to join its firepower for other things, which makes it a real predator. I mean, you saw it when it was firing on its own with the Supermac at the rear section, it just didn't really do anything. But when you were combining it with the other battle groups, it was hammering sections to dust. We've played a couple of games as well.
Yeah.
And the Punic, for example, killed an ORS outright when combined with another squad at one point.
Not quite, no. At long range, I did a damage and 2 vulnerables.
Yeah.
At long range, and then destroyed its second round of combat because of those 2 vulnerables. So turn 2, I destroyed an ORS with a Punic without combining it with anything.
I have to admit, though, this is a really fun game, very close. I was seeing if I could encircle you and hope just some damage would go through, but I don't think I really had enough left. That the Corvette squad, that the 4 Corvettes formation, I really should look up what it's actually called. But that was actually really handy. It was a really good little force. It's cheap. It's 160 points, and it gives you a fast flanking force that puts out a surprising amount of dice.
It does, yeah.
The ORS, nice, dependable, heavy. The CAS, I think we're playing 1500 points, and I think at this points level, it's a bit pricey. I would have preferred to have, I don't know, maybe a couple more ORS squadrons, to be fair. Actually, that thing's completely untouched. But then, if it attracted the attention of the Punic, I don't think that would have been the case. There's also that, what's it called? I think the Harbinger battle group, where you get 2 ORSs. That would have been nice, but overall, I'd say the Punic for the UNSC, especially if you're taking Lord Hood, very good. Very, very good.
Very good.
I did 1 point of damage and Hood immediately repaired it, which was incredibly demoralising. So, hopefully we'll get another couple of games. Maybe I'll try and run the Punic myself once I get one.
You can always borrow mine, but
I don't know. The target shops would clash in my scheme. But the CAS, I might try a list against the Punic with no CAS and an equivalent list of other things.
That would be
and see how that fares.
Interesting.
It would be interesting. But yeah, end of the game. We had to, you may notice if you're quite sharp, hawk-eyed as you were, we had to stop filming at a certain point. I think shortly after the second section got completely hammered but not quite killed, and myself and Shaun had to come back the next day to film this, because while we would like to have just wrapped it up and gone home and slept, we really wanted to see where this ended.
Yeah,
so
it's far too close to call
two days of playing, but it was a good game, Shaun.
It was a good game, very, very good.
And we'll see if we can get another one in at some point.